Hello, everyone, and welcome to Poor Man's Trading. This is Troy, as always. I just want to start out today with a quick review of what I've done so far as building my program. I started with the 5 things you should do when you first start. This is what I've come up with. Doing trading for the last 2.5 years, I would say. September of 2022 is when I started. And one thing I have to do is you have to build a good habit. How I build my habit is I work on my capital daily. The capital is the money you start with when investing. You have um, your earnings, which you can then rotate back into more capital and use your earnings to invest and make more earnings. That is called, you know, basically it's the same as compounding your interest. If you make money off of your capital and you take that what you earn and earn some more off of it, you're compounding. I started with $15 in September of 2022, and about every month or two, I'm able to add more to it. I'm actually right now keeping on the path that I am. I add about $45 every 2 months. Every 2 to 3 weeks, I'm able to add another $15 to my capital. That's not the whole time. When I first started this, I was only adding like $5 a month to my capital, but I've been able to increase that. How you get your capital, that's up to you. I do it by doing surveys online. So I go online into a certain platform, which I do have the link posted at the bottom of the in the description here, and I go and do those surveys. When I get to the $20 cash out amount, I cash out $20. I keep five for myself to kind of reward myself for doing a good job. $15 I invest. So I always encourage people to find what makes them happy, find a system that they can work with, and if they need to adapt it, adapt it. There are so many different ways to do the stock market and make money with the stock market. Find what you are good with. What I do is that it takes about 10 to 30 minutes a day. Um, Another good person you can watch is the 10-Minute Trader. Go look him up on YouTube. He does a nightly show every night of the week. I have not seen him miss a night yet. Some are short, some are longer. But the 10-Minute Trader, he does options. He does things that will cost a minimum $2,000 to trade. I don't have that kind of funds. I am literally sitting at, we have $227 that I have that I will show you that I'm trading with right now. That I have built up from that $15 and adding to and learning. I have made mistakes, but I'm learning. But I've gotten the system going and it's growing, and I want to film this so I can say, oh, that wasn't a good decision. Let's clean that up. Hey, this is working. Let's keep that in. So I'm hoping that people find this. They're like, hey, this is a good starting point. And if you want to use my system and kind of adapt it to yourself, please do. And if you find something, share it. I'm learning. I'm hoping you're learning from me. If I'm teaching something, that means I understand it. Because as I teach, I learn. And as you learn stuff and you teach it back to me, we're both growing. So it's I guess in a way that's kind of like the human dividend. If I put some my knowledge, my capital into you, and then you return it back to me with something else, then we've both got something. That's a good way of looking at that. So build your capital daily. Keep your own records. There's a reason I do this. One is something could go haywire with the company you are trading through. I use Charles Schwab, and I use their Thinkorswim system. Um, I tried another one beforehand. I just recently switched over to Charles Schwab after seeing it on the 10-Minute Trader, seeing what the real-time trading does compared to another company I was using that didn't really have real-time. And I saw what potentials I was missing because of that. But I keep my own records. One, to see how I'm doing. Two, in case something doesn't line up. We have two different information. I can go back. Okay, who's right? Who's wrong? Where's is it just not up to date yet on their end? Did I write down something? I found a mistake. I found a mistake this morning from this weekend where I had my information wrong, and I was like, oh, I I bought 2 shares of this. I said it cost me this much per share or to cash out, and it was actually doubled because it's a $4.37 stock, I think it was. But I said that my mark was $8 and something. Well, that's my mark if you combine them together. The mark is not per share; it's supposed to be per share. Where I'm supposed to get 5 cents off that share, I accidentally said I'm need to get $4.05 off that share because I accidentally doubled it. Also, there are just certain things that you're going to need the information, and it's easier if you have it in your own tables yourself than having to go searching through their program. If you just need a real quick, oh, you know, here's mine. Here's mine right now. So we're like, oh, this is going up. I bought it for 432. Okay, my target is 437 minimum. So if it's above this, hey, let's go look and see if it's above this right now because my alert went off and see if it's still sitting there. You can do that real quick. You know, it's just you want information quick at hand, and you know what information you use. I don't know what information you use or how you do your stocks. When you get into this, if hey, I want to know this, you can put that in here. And if you have Excel like this, you can actually, this is crazy. I could actually come in here and let's see if I can remember how to do this. I can go data. I can go stocks right here. Got it. Because I know what I'm doing. You can actually go to learn more, right? I could go. Let's see which one. Let's go with BDN. BDN. That should have. There he goes. I'm going to do this just real quick. Yep, that one right there is what I want. Hey, look, there's our information right now. So if you actually want to use a spreadsheet for your kind of your information, although you would have to keep reloading this after a while, I'm not sure how. I think their time is like 5 minutes difference. But if you will say, hey, I want to know, on this row here, I want you could say I want their high and their low right here. Let's see. So this is them. Brandywine Realty Trust on the New York, and there's supposed to be a way to. Huh. Oh, I have to click on this first one because this is so long. That's what's going on. Okay. So I want. There you go. I want to know their high. I want to know their low. Click on this little box. I want to know the current price. You know. So here's the high, here's the low, here's the current trading price. You know. So you come in here and you can say this is the 52-week high. Now I would actually change my box sizes. But I'm just doing this to show you guys that this is how easy it is. You can go 52-week low, and price. And what I would do is, if it was me, I would come in here and I would kind of, make these a little bigger so the names fit. So it just kind of really depends. Especially, you can put the data however you need it. So don't be afraid to come up with something of your own as needed. You're like, hey, I really need to know this. This is what I want to base my data from. I want to know this information. I mean, this is actually kind of cool if I'm looking at ones of that I get in and out of often. If I see the hey, I buy this stock, I sell this stock, it drops, I buy it again, I sell it again. You know, if I'm seeing a stock that does that often to me for me, and I can come back constantly making more money from them, I will make a list like this eventually. I will probably eventually just do that. I'll be like, here's the stocks that I know I can go put in some money real quick, and probably, if depending on where they're at, and make a return in the week. Set your expectations and goals. Okay, you're not going to get rich overnight. You're not going to be Warren Buffett in a year. But can you be happy growing, learning, taking steps, seeing your potential? Are you happy with 1% a week? Are you happy with 1% next week too? How about 1% on top of that 1% the third week? Oh, and let's take all that we just earned, that 3% so far. Let's add 1% more to that. And how about, in week 5 we add more capital. So now, you have 4 plus percent of the first capital and now you're adding more capital. Would you be happy with that steady growth? Would you be happy if you could take $20 and make it 30 by a year? And because let's say you add $20 a month, so in a year, your first $20 you put in January, let's say, would you be happy if that $20 was now 30? Would you be happy in January of the next year you have 30 from January and 30 from the February before? Because you had another $20 that February, a year ago. If every time you put $20 in, within a year that same $20 would now be 30, and in a year from now that 30 is now going to be 42 and a half, and then next year that 42 and a half is going to be, let's say $15, so it's going to be $57. And that's every $20 you put in 3 years is now $57. Would you be happy with that? That's the expectations. That's the goals. Don't expect to be, I'm going to take $15, $20, and I'm going to run that up to $400 in a year, $500 this year. Because if you could do that, everybody would do it, and we'd all be rich and we'd all be poor. So your expectations is, keep yourself in check, but don't settle for less. My goal is 50% a year. And I haven't quite charted that out yet because I'm still building this part of the program and I haven't written everything out. But I will be having a chart showing you where I started out when I started recording these and where I am now. Like I said, I transferred some money over from a different company I was trading with, so it took me a while to get the funds everything squared out and transferred over. So I'm building up that record and those histories, and I will show you the chart of where I'm adding money, where my growth is, and I want to do that. I want to see myself where I can improve, what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong. Stay positive and build your system. And this is the thing: stay positive. Not every day, not every week, not every month's going to go your way, and there is a balance to that. If the stocks aren't going your way that week, at least you're still building your capital. You're building more upon it because the more capital you have when you put it in there, you can do other trades while waiting for these to come back. Invest in yourself and put a little time each day learning and researching. This is my hardest part. Sometimes I don't make myself time to do research that day or learn something about something that day. I don't get to this every day. I need to. I've got this habit, build your capital. I've got this habit. This one I'm pretty set on. I know my expectations. I know what my goal is. Stay positive. I'm pretty good at that as far as this is. Personally, not always, but as far as what I'm doing, I'm pretty positive. This one right here, I am struggling with, and I'm trying to learn. I do watch, like I said, the 10-minute trader. I do watch some other traders on TikTok. I try to find things about how to use Thinkorswim, which is the trading platform that I use, how to do things on it. And sometimes I will go and look at a certain company that I'm investing in, that I'm trading, because I want to say, hey, you know, if I need to hold on to them for some time, or if maybe I want to hold on to them, maybe I like them, and I'm like, after a while, I want some guaranteed income. I want some dividends coming in later. That I'm not going to trade all my money. I'll keep money in the stock market trading back and forth every day, and then some of my money I might want to be sitting just not worrying about and letting it grow. I don't know. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to want to know about the company I'm trading in. Let's talk about the rules I have for myself. Never sell for less. Be willing to hold on to the stock. This is my number one rule because if you can't stand it when you buy a stock, if that stock drops bad, which it did during these tariff scares that we're in right now, where everything just kind of plummeted for a moment, investors were not sure what was going to happen, so they started pulling out their money. And people are like, oh, there's a big old loss. There was not a loss. I have not lost anything because I have not sold anything for less than I purchased it for. It's in holding. I own a part of the company because that's what a stock is. It's a thing saying you own a certain portion of this company. That is legally what it is. So I have something that I paid money for. I still have that. I have not lost it. Is it valued on paper the same right now? No. But I didn't give it to someone else. I didn't sell it for less money, so I haven't lost anything. I just have to hold it. So you have to be willing to say, okay, I pulled the trigger on that one. It looked good. Then something happened. It didn't go the way I predicted. No big deal. We just got to hold it until it turns. And there's ways to counter that. One, or number two, only deal in the stocks that have dividends. This is one of my counters for that. If I. Oh, did you hear that? One of my alerts went off. ACCO is at. Was it ARKO? And what? Oh, I think I don't think I added them to my. See, I made a mistake. Current trades. I think I have a company that's not in my trade list, but I actually own them. ARKO $5 stock. $5 list. Let's go look. Okay, see, I just bought them this morning though. I don't think I can sell them. If I bought them this morning, along with three other stocks, I bought four stocks with the funds I had open. I cannot trade them today because that would be daily trading, and I don't have $25,000 to be doing day trades. I don't want my account to be flagged for day trading. That's a possibility. Like I said, realistically, this is what I have. Now it says I have $299. There are some funds I don't do this with because there are some stocks and funds that came from the other platform that were that are EFTs, and like I have stock in Ford, because those are just dividend stocks that I wanted back when I was doing first learning and getting stuff off the dividends and just making me automatic. So what I have here is what I actually have available to trade with myself, $227. And so if you're brand new to this, I use $227 to trade with. I currently out of the 227, I have $215.70 tied up. So I'm pretty good. Now, because it's a new week, my weekly goal is 1% of this 227. So it's $2.27 I need to earn this week. AirKale I bought this morning at 406 for a total of 812. Target price is 411, and I think that one hit. Yes, it hit 411. I could technically sell it, but I think I'm going to let it ride today. See if it'll go higher. I do have this right here. It will sell my shares if it gets to 419. No, 421. If it gets $4.21 a share, it would automatically sell. That is a 3% markup. And that's a little insight of what I'm going to be showing you later. But, and like I said, I did make a mistake. I didn't add them. When I purchased them, I need to add them to my current trade stocks. There we go. This is my current trades. That's my $5 list. There's my $10 list, my $15 list, and what currently I have in trades. Okay. So I only deal in stocks that have dividends. Why do I only deal with stocks that have dividends? And I'm going to show you this math real quick. Let's say I bought a stock for $2. I bought one share. I was expecting to get 1% of it that next by the week. So 2.02 is what I want out of it. But let's say it drops to, let's see, 190. Okay, it's down to 190. I'm having to hold it and hold it, waiting for 202, because I will not sell it for less than what I got it for, and I want 1%. 202 is my mark minimum. Well, if it's sitting around 190 and then I'm holding it for a little bit and it comes out and has a dividend, and let's say that dividend is 5 cents. Okay, so as a dividend of 5 cents, well, now my mark actually can drop. I can drop this down by 5 cents to $1.97, because with this 5 cents I made off the stock, if I'm getting tied up, if it's not hitting that 202 mark and it's bouncing between 190 and $2, well, now if it gets to at least 197, I can sell it and get my 1% out of my what I originally invested and free up that money to go put it in a different stock that is performing better. So every time a dividend hits, I at least can, it gives you a little bit of, you know, insurance on that stock because it didn't perform as you had predicted. Has this happened? This is actually has happened to me currently. I have one, two, three, four stocks that have paid dividends since the tariff issue. I bought DBI. Actually, bought it twice. Bought it by accident. Bought it at 396. Bought it at 394. They actually did pay me 5 cents each. And if you'll notice, the target is now 395. I want 4% profit. My target was 390, no, $4 on this one. And my target here was 398 on this one. 4 cents. Well, now, because they paid 5 cents dividends. I just need them to hit this amount. This one here, 15 cents per. I bought them at 443. My target price was 5 cents above that. You know, so it was 448, right? Okay, so here's where this is the one I think I messed up on. I got 15 cents per. I gotta go check this. I'll go check this later. Make sure it's per, not together. Because I had two stocks, two shares, I'm sorry. It's 443. So originally I would want 5 cents out of that to make my 1%. And that would make it 448. And if they gave me 15 cents, that is not the right net number. That'd be off of, it would be 33. There. So my new target is 433. Even though it's less than what I paid, I've got my 1% if you include the 15 cents I earned. This is why I say only deal with dividend stocks. At least things go south on you if you pull the trigger, because I just use them to count that as part of the 1%, part of the payment and 1%. If I'm having to hold it until I pay dividend again, well, I have to hold it, but at least I'm getting a little something. What is my goal? Now I'm going to tell you what my goal is. Actually, I do know my goal. By the way, I decided this the other day, looking at stuff. Just so everybody knows, my goal is $4,000, so I could put $2,000 and start doing options, and $2,000 doing this. So my goal is how fast can I get to $4,000? It might take me a couple years. Okay, it probably will. I hope everybody gets to ride with me on that one and see how we're doing. Stocks must have some history. Okay, this is my third rule. What I mean by some history is when I come in here and I go look at the chart, I want to see a full year chart. When I build a list, I go through that list and I'll be like, okay, we need to see, which ones do what. I'll see ones that only been around for 2 weeks, a month. And it's like, no, I'm not going to trade with those because they have no history at all. I can't see what their highs, their lows, how they function seasonality wise. Because, well, I keep saying how to build a list. Let's go build a list because we need to do this. Let's say I want to do a stock and I'm going to build my 20. Let's say I want to build my $20 list. I've got my 15. Even though I'm not ready to start trading in $20 ones, let's say I want to have stocks that have a minimum of $15 and 1 cent opening and up to $20. I want their volume in trading to be a minimum, let's say 50,000 shares. Okay. The PE ratio I have here because that means that if you have a good positive PE, you pay dividends. I'm hoping. I'm going to scan that. See, where's 1,271 that fit this, 6,648 that fit that, 6,663 fit that. But how many actually fit all three? Let's find out. Yes, I know it makes a large list. 149. So there's 149 stocks that fit all three of those categories. Not a bad starting list, 149. So what I'm going to do, I gotta remember how to do this. Save as watch list. We're gonna make it a watch list of $20 list. Save. Okay, now I have made another watch list. I will show you how I build that. Actually, it'll be today's little thing. Whoops, wrong one. And we'll look at the history. We'll see. Do they have history? Stocks must have a good volume of trading daily. That's why I put in that minimum trade of 50,000. Stocks that trade shares daily have more tendency to go up or down. You have more chances, more for it to hit what your mark is. Like I said, my mark is just 1%. I'm happy at the end of the week if I make 1%. Monday if I buy it and by Friday I have a 1% gain. If I did that for all my money, that's a 1% on everything. And if I did that for a year, let's say, with the short weeks, you have something like Easter Friday. We didn't have Friday, so we had a short week. With all the days off in the stock market, if you get 50% out of the 52 weeks, that's a good year. Not a lot of people make 50% interest on their money a year. Your bank account won't do that. 50% a year. That's what you gotta look at. It isn't about how much money it is. It's the fact that you make 50%. So whether you have $15 or $1,500, it's 50% gain. Yes, the people who have more money will make more money, but you'll get there. You have to start somewhere. Just because you know, just because if you have a little bit of money and you're not sure what you're doing, that's great. That's when you need them. That's when you need a little bit of money to start learning with. I'm not perfect. I wasn't perfect when I started this. As I said, I was looking for companies to just pay dividends so I could make residual income while I was learning. And then I saw someone doing this, and then I watched some other people, and I started getting confidence. Stocks should show the start of an uptrend. Okay, so let's go look at this. Stocks must have a good daily trading. They must have it show an uptrend. They must have dividends. Now, my dividends rule now is dividends pay out at least 4 times a year, quarterly. At first, it was just any dividends at all, but then I decided stocks that pay only a dividend once every year or every 6 months, that's a long time to hold on to a stock and get a little bit back. So I want at least 4 payments. I want at least quarterly payments. Stocks must have some history. Okay, this is where we're gonna do this. Today I'm gonna show you how I did my list. First, come here. No, I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add a new watch list. Then we're gonna come down here. We're gonna take that watch list. We're gonna move it above that one. The current trades. Okay. That says default. I don't want the default one. I want the personal $20 list. Yes, okay. We're going to go to charts. This is where we're going to start. Oh, I got to tie this in real quick. Yellow to yellow. Okay, click on it. There we go. Do you see this right here? These little icons? Do you see any green dollar bills? No. That means they do not pay a dividend this year. They did not pay their owners, their stockholders, any dividends for owning them. Even though they declared that per share they made 52 cents per share in that quarter, did any of the shareholders get any money? No. Oh, they made a profit of 55 cents? Shareholders get any money? No. So why am I going to put my... That's one reason why I won't do non-dividends, is they don't give the money. They don't give their owners any of the money. No company gives 100%. If they do, there is something going on. Because you have to keep some of your profits to grow and expand with. But at least the board should at least share some of the money. Oh, I also went down. Okay, this one gave one dividend in the entire year, so that's going to be out. But as you see, I've got a little issue with this program. When you take one out, it drops you down to the next one. So it's best to start at the bottom. 2 dividends. Not good enough. Gone. Oh, two dividends. No dividends. No dividends. See how I'm just going through them. Whoops. I missed button. Missed the button. Backspace is the button. Okay, this one pays 4 dividends. It's doing really good. Um, volume, like today, is 286,200 shares, right, already. Good volume. Has an uptrend. Actually had a very, very nice uptrend until today. I would have got this last week if I had a $20 amount. 17.90. Now, I'm not ready to trade that high volume yet. I'm in the 5, 10s, and 15s. Um, I'll show you that in a little bit as well. Here, let me get a drink real quick. Okay, so let's see. And we're just gonna, what did it say? We had 100 something of these to go? No. We'll keep it. It's got good volume, 924. Yep. We'll keep that on the list. Nope. We can keep this on the list for now. Can't keep that one. We can keep this one even though it's only a penny per share. Is that still fits the guidelines. I have not set a minimum. That fits. Although the share volume, well, it's 430. Okay, so this day makes it look weird. See these little lines? You're like, oh, it doesn't do a lot. Well, one day, for some reason, out of the blue, someone either bought or sold 40 million shares of the company. So it made this chart go way high. And all these little lines here are actually representing millions of shares. 436,000 today alone. Way over here, you can't even see it yet. So you do have to be careful. I look at the number right here. But that one's good. All right, up to the next one. Two payouts. No payouts. 1, 2, 3, 4 payouts. Good volume. Okay. 4 payouts. 4 payouts. 4 payouts. I can say no to that one. I can say no to that one. And if you're thinking, oh, you're missing opportunities. There are so many stocks to go through. You cannot go through every stock every day to figure, this one has 4 pounds and looks like it's pretty active. Some drop today, but hey, good payout. Now this one, I'd be wary of right now, only because it hit the low a little bit ago. Although it looks like it's trying to get there again, even though it's going up from the daily. It's going up from the daily. It's going up right from when it opened, but it opened right here near its low. Even though it's green, the green and red just means, is it less than when it opened or more from when it opened? It doesn't say, you know, this green does not mean it was more than it was yesterday. That's just green from it opened here and now it's gone, or and now it's gone up and down. I think it's opened here actually. Here it went down. Here it had been red, and then it turned itself green, and it went all the way up to this height, and now it's sitting at this bar. The bottom bar right here is where it opened at. And if this bar drops where it currently is, if it drops below that bar, it turns red. If it goes above the first bar, it turns green. It's a little bit weird. It took me a while to catch that. So this is the actual first bar. How do I know that? Because it turned red. That means the second bar, the current price that day, was below that one. The lines are the lowest and the highest it got that day. That's why this line is so long. It started here, it shot up at one point to there and was green, but it came down to here and was red, came back up and closed here, and this was above the starting point, so it's red. It took me a little bit to figure that out, so and now that I did, you know, I try to share that with people how to read these. So with this one, this bar right here, since this is green, that means the bar down here is where it started. It's currently above where it opened. And that's for the day traders. That's people like, oh, right now it's green. I bought it this, when it first opened, and I could sell it for a profit. But like I said, I think you need like $20,000, $25,000 technically to start day trading because you have to have, you know, a bunch of insurance basically. They have to know you're good for it. Anyway, I digress. One of them scroll things again. Yes, we can keep that one. Yes, we'll keep that one. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. Uh, nope. Nope. Yes. That's a no. Yes. Nope. No. Nope. Yes. I'm already up to the P's. No. No. Yes. 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 Ooh. This one's trying to trick you because they had a call here. I don't think they paid out right here. See, they pay out afterwards. So they only have three. Mm, I don't need them. There's enough stocks to go look at that I don't need to look at every stock. And if you're wondering if I ever refresh my list, yes, I do. Every once in a while, I'll go back and I'll say, okay, let's see if what new stocks are in this guideline in this range. Some because stocks will go up out of the range, and some stocks will fall into your range and fall out of your range. I mean, and why do I have different ranges? Well, that's diversifying. I am diversifying my money by putting so much within the 5 stock range, so much within the 10 stock range, so much within the 15 stock range, and how many stocks in those ranges. Ooh, no, that was a no. Yes. Nope. Yes. No. Nope. Some of these look like they're starting to pay dividends, but like I said, if you ain't got enough history, then I mean, I'm not. We can go see how many stocks are actually out there. There was last I looked, there was over 10,000 stocks. So I mean, how many do I really need to do trades between? If I'm doing, let's say 5 or 6 stocks per group, like this one looks like it started. Boom, boom. They started doing well. So they're probably a newer company, or they got a new board and said, hey, you know what? We better start paying some shares to people, start paying some dividends. We're making some money. We're making 56, 54 cents per share. Let's pay them 15. Use the rest to keep the company running. Well, we made 72 cents a share. Let's pay them 15 again. So I mean, it's not always. Nope, here they paid 16 and a half, so they actually went up. So I'm gonna give that. Sometimes you just gotta. It does it have four? No, but it looks like it's actually making improvements. No. Oh, did I not delete it? Okay, did I hit the wrong button? Delete. Thank you. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. 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 Nope. Yes. I'm in my E's now. Okay. Yes. Nope. No. One, two, three. Ooh, they did a double payment right here. They probably paid and said, "Oh, we got more. Let's pay again." So, hey, that's pretty nice. Nice of them. Nope. Not enough. Okay, you can stay. Nope. Nope. Oh, you pay. Okay. You can stay. You can stay. You can't. You're out of the party. No party for you. Nope. While it's thinking, I'll do that. No. 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 Yes. Just gotta be careful not to pull the trigger too soon. There we go. There we go. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Nope. 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 Yeah. Yep. Yep. Ooh. Looks looks inviting, don't it? Looks very very inviting. Up, 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 up. Can't lose. Can't lose. You know. You're gonna lose some point. It did get below that line. It's about halfway up the ladder of the $20 from 13. But here's the thing: one, two payments. One of them is 1 to 3 months out. If this dropped, would you be willing to hold it for at least 3 months or more, even though you're going to get 24 cents? Maybe. How come when they're making $1.48, they're not paying anything? Let's see, they declared. This is really weird. Earnings $1.56 actual. They pay 11 cents. Yeah, that one's too jinky for me. But see how it looked like it's so inviting because it had that big old bar up. Yeah, that was so inviting. Well, that one's a good. We're in the AMs, huh? That one's okay, and that one's not. And that's it. Uh oh, I gotta retype that one back in. Okay. So all these right here, whatever is in this list, are the $20 ones between 15 and $20 that I would trade in when I get to $20 stocks. They fit my criteria. That's a lot of options I have. And that's enough. So now I got my 5, 10, 15, and $20 list. My next one will be a $30 list. I'll go from 21 to $20 and 1 penny to $30. I won't do a $5 jump anymore. I'll do a 30. I'll do a 50. You know, and then I'll do like a 75. I'll start doing larger jumps. Now, yes, in case you're wondering why I do that, this is how much I have in my trading. I have $227. So right now I'm at this one right here. $90 within 6 stocks or more. You know, diversified within 6 stocks. In my $10 range, $90 diversified within 4 stocks. And in the $15 range, $45 diversified within at least 3 stocks. When I get to $280, you'll see I have $100 to diversify within the $5 stocks, $100 within the tens, 60 within the 15s. And right here, I will start my $20 stocks, $20 into at least one stock. And then this will show that like when I get $300, how that $300 is spaced out. That's a $20 gain, and that all 20 will go to the $5 stocks. still within six or more stocks, but it gives the $5 dip range. And this is so if one group has a bad week, I'll be involved in enough of them that I can go and still get funds from the other ones, earnings. Let's go ahead and delete this. Stocks that show an uptrend. Now we're gonna go. We're gonna actually, before I end this, I want to go look at my watch list right here, and we're looking for stocks that have an uptrend. What I mean is this one had 1, 2 days of an uptrend. Now today it's not drown, but even though it's got a low that just happened a little bit ago, it had that uptrend. If this uptrend was continuing today, is when I would have got into it. This one here, I have a feeling it was doing the uptrend. I purchased it because you can see where my mark is, where I want to sell it back at. But the tariff scare hit right after I purchased it, so I'm just holding it, and I'm waiting for it to uptrend again. Okay, this one's got an uptrend. I would purchase this one again, even though it hit that low. It's been going up. It's today, and it's got 1, 2, 3 days in the good. I would, if I had free funds, I would purchase this again, try to get some money out of it, even though I already hold it. You okay, kitty? You get sneezes? Okay. Sorry, my cat was sneezing. Okay. Oof. Oh, is this one I just bought it? Could be. It looks like it opened up higher than. It opened up here, but if I just bought it, then I probably bought it like right here, and there's the pro. And there's where I want profit. So I missed buying it. If I bought it this morning, it actually would have been way lower. It's still dropping, but ouch. We'll hold on to that. Okay, that one's that one. So, being Monday, this is kind of watching. This one's making a steady comeback. I'll be able to, its mark is 1437, meaning that that's probably I bought it at like probably 1422, 23. This one's bounced. This one is kind of leveled out. That one's still working on it. This one went the other way today. Not what I want to see, but hey, this is Monday. Just gotta stay positive. Yep. Okay, this one's still working on there. It's getting support, which I figured it would at this area. Right around here, it would have support. People don't really like to see it that low. I'm just waiting for the push up. Yes, and this one is already. Like I said, this one I bought. It's made it push upwards from the first time I bought it. It hit the alert, and we'll see if it hits the limit. If it hits the limit, it will sell at a 3% profit. If it doesn't, at the end of the day, I can say, hey, do I want to sell it tomorrow when the market opens? And that won't be a day trade. I would have sold it the next day if it's still above its 1%. Do I want to take my earnings from that, free up that money, put it somewhere else? Do I think it might still climb and get 3% of it? That's my call. So being that as it is, I just try to educate everybody, just let them give them a little view of what I do and how I do it. And if you have any questions, please leave comments. I will see them in YouTube. And I'm hoping to soon start TikTok. I'm still learning that portion of this. And if you guys have, like I said, if you have any questions, just leave me a comment, send me a message, and I will address it. Or if you have an idea of what I can improve, please pass that knowledge on to me. I will definitely take it.